Chosen one. True strength is awakening within you, and this moment has not appeared without purpose along your journey. I am calling you to pause, not to make you afraid that you might lose something, but so that you may become still enough to recognize what has been quietly growing within you throughout all these years. There is a part of you that was once covered by words of doubt, repeated failures, the coldness of others, and even the judgments you unknowingly placed upon yourself. Yet that part of you was never destroyed. It was only waiting for you to mature deeply enough to receive it without becoming proud, to use it without harming anyone, and to walk in it without losing the gentleness that makes you uniquely beautiful. Today, I want you to understand that this strength does not begin with the applause of the world. It begins the moment you stop bowing before the things that once made you feel small. What is unfolding before you is not a new outer image for you to wear in order to prove yourself to others. It is a return to the true person I planted within you from the beginning, before outside voices taught you to question your worth. You once believed that strength meant never being allowed to feel weak, never shedding tears, and never needing support. But, my beloved, genuine strength does not turn the heart into stone. It is the ability to remain compassionate after being wounded, to rise after falling, and to choose what is right when you could easily respond with bitterness. Every time you refused to let sorrow turn you into a cold person, another measure of power was strengthened within you. Every time you continued moving forward, even when no one saw your effort, you laid another firm stone in the foundation prepared for this moment. There were days when you wondered why your path seemed heavier than the paths of others. You looked around and saw many people advancing with ease, while you had to overcome one obstacle after another. I know there were times when you felt held back, as though doors always closed just before your hand could reach them. But not every delay is a rejection. There were seasons when you were kept in silence so that you could learn to distinguish a genuine calling from a passing desire. Some opportunities did not come because you needed protection from places that would have drained your passion. There were also times when you had to walk alone, because if you had always depended on the approval of others, you would never have discovered how firmly you could stand. What once made you believe you had been forgotten was actually teaching you to become deeper, wiser, and more steadfast. I have seen the battles no one else knew about. I saw you silently swallow your tears so that others would not worry. I saw you begin again after important plans fell apart. And I saw you struggle to hold on to faith even when your mind was filled with questions. Not one of those moments was wasted. The days when you believed you were merely trying to survive were actually the days when endurance, compassion, and wisdom were being forged within you. You were not being prepared to become someone who never faces a storm. You were being prepared to become someone who knows how to keep direction when the storm arrives. What I placed within you was not meant to make you stand above others, but to give you enough strength to lift those who are falling, enough calmness to remain steady when circumstances become chaotic, and enough clarity not to be led astray by appearances that seem impressive but contain no truth. From this moment forward, you will begin noticing a change in the way you see yourself. The things that once frightened you may still remain, but they will no longer possess the authority to determine your steps. The words that once caused you to shrink will gradually become small before your new understanding that your worth does not depend on whether someone recognizes it. You will no longer need to chase others in order to beg for a place to stand. because you have learned how to stand firmly in the truth of who you are. You also do not need to argue with those who deliberately misunderstand you. Maturity does not require you to explain yourself in every situation. Sometimes the strongest answer is an upright life, a peaceful mind, and the results born from your perseverance. However, I want to remind you that this awakening must be guarded through humility. When you begin recognizing your ability, do not allow confidence to become arrogance. When doors open, do not forget the days when you stood outside. When people begin listening to your voice, remember what it felt like to be someone no one understood. Power becomes beautiful only when it is guided by love, wisdom, and self-control. If you use it to take revenge upon those who once looked down on you, you will become bound again by the very past from which you were released. But if you use it to build, heal, and protect what is right, what has been entrusted to you will continue to grow. I am not awakening you so that you become hard toward the world. I am awakening you so that the world can no longer so easily bring you down. Some people may not yet see the change in you, and you do not need to force them to see it. A seed makes no sound while taking root, but when the season comes, no one can deny the presence of the tree. Let the results speak on your behalf. Continue learning when no one is paying attention. Continue training when there is no praise. And continue doing what is right, even when no one is watching. What lasts is always built quietly before it is revealed in the light. You do not need to announce that you have changed. The way you respond to difficulty, the way you preserve peace in conflict, and the way you treat others will tell that story for you. When true strength begins operating, it does not produce meaningless noise. It creates a stability that causes even those near you to feel strengthened. I also want you to release the shame you carry over the times when you were weak. Those days were not proof that you were unworthy. They were evidence that you were lifted more times than you realized. You did not fail merely because you once lost direction. You did not lose your calling merely because there were moments when you no longer believed in yourself. Growth is rarely a straight road. Sometimes you move forward with strength. Sometimes you must slow down in order to heal. At other times, you must return and relearn a lesson you thought you had already understood. Do not despise any part of the process. Every stage of your journey has contributed to the depth you now possess. Now, walk as someone who is no longer defined by the past. Begin with small but consistent choices. Speak to yourself with greater kindness. Establish boundaries against what wears you down. Complete what you have delayed. And do not run from an opportunity merely because you fear failure. Great transformation does not always arrive like a powerful wind. Sometimes it begins with your decision never to return to an old way of living. Every time you choose courage instead of avoidance, wisdom instead of impulse, and trust instead of despair, the strength within you receives more room to reveal itself. Michael, I'm reminding you that you do not need to become someone else in order to enter the future that has been prepared. You only need to stop denying the beautiful qualities already planted within you. You carry the endurance of someone who has walked through darkness, the gentleness of someone who understands pain, and the wisdom of someone who has learned how to rise. What was once hidden will gradually be revealed, not so that you may be exalted above others, but so that your life may become evidence that suffering does not have to become the end of the story. Lift your head, my beloved. The time of making yourself smaller has passed. You do not need to shout in order to prove your strength. You need only to walk steadily. Keep your heart pure, and allow every choice you make to reveal the person you were always destined to become. What is about to astonish you is not an event you should fear, but the moment when you realize that every road you traveled was leading you to this exact place. The scattered pieces, the unanswered questions, and even the seasons when you believed you were lost will gradually come together into a clear and radiant picture. Then you will understand why certain doors had to close, why some people had to leave, and why you had to endure periods that no one else could endure on your behalf. I have not allowed one experience in your life to become meaningless. Everything has been guiding you closer to the truth that was placed deeply within you long ago. You were not created to live forever in doubt, to shrink before adversity, or to accept less than the dignity I gave you. The person who constantly doubted themselves is gradually fading into the past. The version of you who always feared disappointing others, who hesitated too long before making a decision, and who repeatedly wondered whether they were good enough, will no longer control every step you take. I do not condemn you for once living that way, because years of pain taught you to protect yourself. Rejection taught you to reduce your expectations, and experiences in which you were not valued caused you to forget your true worth. But, my beloved, the mechanisms that once helped you survive cannot continue guiding you into the future. A garment that protected you in winter can become a burden when a new season arrives. Therefore, I am helping you gently remove old ways of thinking, not so that you will deny the past, but so that the past will no longer determine who you are becoming. This transformation will not arrive with a loud sound, nor will it change everything in a single morning. It is taking place quietly through choices that may seem very small. You are beginning to pause before reacting. You are beginning to consider what is truly worthy of your time and peace. The words that once easily brought you down no longer possess the same authority. The places where you once struggled to fit in and gain approval are beginning to feel too narrow. You notice that you no longer want to take part in conversations that drain you. You no longer feel compelled to explain yourself to everyone. Nor do you wish to repeat old cycles simply because they are familiar. These are signs that you are growing from within, even if outward circumstances have not yet changed very much. You will also notice that the way you view the future is gradually changing. In the past, you may have looked ahead through fear, constantly preparing for the worst so that you would not be caught by surprise. But now, a new part of you is learning how to expect goodness without guilt, daring to believe that you can enter a more spacious life without sacrificing your peace. This is not baseless dreaming. It is the result of recognizing that you are no longer the person who was completely controlled by circumstances. You now carry greater discernment, more experience, and a stronger ability to rise again. You are not entering tomorrow with empty hands. You carry lessons refined through difficulty, matured understanding, and a heart that knows how to protect what is precious. I want you to understand that the unfamiliar feeling arising within you is not accidental. There will be moments when you wonder why you are no longer satisfied with things you once easily accepted. There will be times when the distance between you and certain relationships becomes more obvious. Even though no major conflict has occurred, do not quickly assume that you are becoming cold or difficult to approach. When awareness changes, a person naturally can no longer continue living by old standards. What was once considered normal may become something you are no longer willing to tolerate. Behaviors you once ignored will begin causing you to reflect more deeply. This is not harshness. It is maturity teaching you to distinguish between compassion and allowing someone to repeatedly wound you. The road you are about to enter requires courage, because there will be moments when you must choose without receiving the agreement of everyone around you. Some people will not understand why you are changing. Some will want you to return to the version of yourself that was easier to control. Others will question what you are sensing. Respect them, but do not hand authority over your life to those who cannot see what I am building within you. Courage does not always reveal itself through dramatic actions. Sometimes courage is simply saying no to what destroys your peace, leaving an environment that continually makes you smaller, or beginning something new before you have every answer. Those steps may cause you to tremble, but they will expand the limits you once placed upon yourself. There may be times when the speed of change feels overwhelming. Doors may begin opening one after another. New responsibilities may arise more quickly than you expected, and you may wonder whether you are truly ready. In those moments, do not immediately return to what is old simply because it feels familiar. Slow down, breathe, and remember that you do not need to solve the entire journey in one day. I do not require you to become perfect before you begin walking. I only ask you to remain faithful to the light you currently possess. Every right decision will make you more stable. Every time you listen to peace, your discernment will become clearer. Every time you refuse to let fear control you, you will recognize that true strength is growing within you. Early growth often creates uncertainty, like someone stepping out of a dark room whose eyes need time to adjust to the light. You may feel that you no longer fully belong in the old place, yet you cannot clearly see your position in the new. This space of transition can be confusing, but it is not evidence that you are lost. It is proof that you are crossing a threshold. Be patient with yourself during this time. Do not force yourself to understand everything immediately. And do not blame yourself when you occasionally miss the person you used to be. Growth does not erase the past. It places the past in its proper position, so that what happened becomes a lesson instead of a prison. I am not taking your true self away from you. On the contrary, I am removing the layers of fear, shame, and false beliefs that have covered you for too long. You once believed that you had to remain strong at all times in order to deserve love, that you had to please everyone in order to be kept, or that silent suffering was the only proof that you were good. Those things are not your identity. They are merely what you learned during seasons when you did not feel safe. Now I am teaching you that you can be gentle while still having boundaries, that you can forgive without returning to a harmful place, and that you can love others without abandoning yourself. When you understand this, you will begin living more freely, no longer allowing the fear of losing others to cause you to lose yourself. A time will come when you look back in amazement at the difference between who you are now and the person who once walked in constant insecurity. You will recognize that strength does not come from never feeling weak, but from the ability to return to clarity after every moment of instability. Confidence is not believing that you can never make a mistake. It is knowing that even if you fall, you can still learn and rise again. Maturity does not make you rigid. It teaches your heart to remain both tender and wise. You will no longer be easily drawn in by beautiful promises that lack sincerity, nor will you react impulsively to what has not yet become clear. You will know how to wait, observe, and choose with a calmness you once believed you could never possess. My beloved, what is taking shape will lead you into a life greater than anything you once dared to imagine. But that greatness does not necessarily need to be measured by applause or the attention of the world. It is found in the peace you preserve amid change, in the ability to live honestly without disguise, and in the courage to continue even when you cannot see the entire road. Trust this process. Do not resist change merely because it makes you feel unfamiliar to yourself. You are not disappearing. You are returning. What is leaving you is only self-doubt, fear of rejection, and the habit of accepting less than what is healthy. What is awakening is the strong, pure, and free nature I placed within you from the beginning. Continue walking, because the astonishment awaiting you is not fear, but the joy of finally realizing that you have become the person you were being prepared to become all along. What is about to enter your life will arrive without warning, because it does not operate according to your clock, but according to the moment I have chosen with perfect wisdom. My beloved, some things would become burdens instead of blessings if they appeared too soon. Some encounters would leave you confused, doubtful, or cause you to step backward from something good if they came before you were stable enough to receive them. Therefore, I have kept everything quiet, not to make you wait in darkness, but so that every element could be placed correctly. I am preparing both you and what is coming toward you, so that when the two paths meet, nothing will be forced, no moment will be wasted, and no door will open before you possess the peace required to enter. You may have asked many times why you have not yet seen a clear sign, or why your prayers have not produced movement that your eyes can recognize. But understand that the deepest work often takes place without noise. A seed does not announce the day it breaks through the soil, and dawn does not knock upon every door before the light appears. In the same way, what I am arranging will not come with a display that immediately captures everyone's attention. It may begin through a simple introduction, a conversation that appears accidental, an invitation whose value you do not recognize at first, or a person appearing in the most ordinary of circumstances. Yet behind that simplicity is a connection that has been carefully prepared, carrying layers of meaning that you will understand only as you continue walking. For this reason, your discernment is being awakened more strongly than before. There are days when you notice the words of others more deeply, recognize details you once overlooked, and sense more clearly the peace or unrest attached to a decision. Do not assume that these are merely passing emotions. I am training your ability to perceive so that you will not chase what is impressive on the surface, yet will also not overlook what is precious simply because it comes in a humble form. The awareness I desire in you is not suspicion toward everyone, nor is it tension that causes you to see danger everywhere. It is a gentle wisdom that knows how to observe without judging too quickly, how to listen without allowing another person's words to silence the peace within. When this meeting takes place, everything may unfold so naturally that you will assume it is only a coincidence. Perhaps this person will appear at the exact moment when you need encouragement, a new perspective, or an opportunity to use abilities that have gone unnoticed for a long time. A brief sentence they speak may touch something you have been considering for months, or a door they open may connect perfectly with what you have quietly been preparing. Do not dismiss small beginnings. Great roads sometimes begin with one quiet step, And profound changes can be hidden within a decision that appears insignificant. I want you to move slowly enough to recognize what is happening, yet courageously enough to respond when clarity has come. You have been underestimated, judged by your difficult seasons, or viewed through eyes that noticed only what you had not yet completed. Some words caused you to make yourself smaller, and at times you carried the opinions of others into the deepest places of your heart, using them to question your own ability. But I have never looked at you in that way. I see the qualities that adversity has refined. I see the perseverance formed during days when no one encouraged you. And I see the compassion you preserved even after being hurt. Those who failed to recognize your value cannot erase what I placed within you. Their lack of understanding has no authority to define you. And the times you were overlooked do not mean that you were not being prepared for a more fitting place. The encounter ahead is not a stage upon which you must prove that you are valuable. You do not need to display every achievement. Become a different version of yourself, or say things merely to impress someone. What belongs to your journey will recognize you through your sincerity, peace, and the character cultivated during hidden seasons. The person connected with you is not above you, nor are they some distant figure before whom you must bow in order to be accepted. They may possess different experience, resources, or position, but that does not make them the measure of your worth. I bring different people together so that each may carry a necessary part of the shared journey. Not so that one person becomes small before the other. Therefore, do not chase what belongs to my arrangement. Hurry often causes you to step forward before the door has truly opened, while fear of missing out can make you accept something that merely resembles what you need, but was never truly meant for you. Continue caring for the responsibilities already in your hands. Live uprightly. Keep your words pure, and develop the abilities you know must grow. When the time comes, you will not need to run to some distant place and compete for what belongs to you. What is fitting will find its way to the place where you are standing, or you will be led there through a peaceful and clear sequence of steps. You will not need to beg to be seen, nor sacrifice your dignity in order to receive an opportunity. Your part is to recognize without rushing, receive without feeling inferior, and respond without allowing the past to control you. When a door appears, observe what it creates within you. If it requires you to live in chaos, conceal the truth, or become a stranger to yourself, proceed carefully. But if it brings clarity, awakens what is good, respects your boundaries, and allows you to walk in integrity, do not allow memories of former disappointments to stop you from moving forward. Not every new opportunity will repeat an old story. There are things I send to show you that connection can be safe, cooperation can be sincere, and receiving support does not make you weak. I have also kept this process hidden because I know that fear sometimes destroys what you have not yet had the opportunity to touch. If you knew too much in advance, you might analyze every detail, imagine every possible failure, and withdraw before something good had time to take shape. Outside voices might also plant doubt within you, causing you to judge a door through someone else's fear instead of through the discernment I gave specifically to you. Therefore, I have covered this preparation with silence. Not every plan must be announced before it has a foundation, and not every seed should be exposed while it is still taking root. Some things need protection from judgment, interference, and even your own desire to control them. What remains beyond your sight is not hidden to place you at a disadvantage. It is being sheltered so that it can grow completely. I have not forgotten to tell you about the future. I am teaching you how to walk without possessing the entire map. Every time you remain faithful to the small step before you, you are moving closer to the meeting that has been prepared. Every time you choose peace instead of panic, you are becoming stable enough to receive something new without distorting it through fear. Every time you refuse to diminish yourself, you are learning how to stand in the proper place so that you do not miss those who will recognize the genuine qualities within you. When everything begins to unfold, you will not need to force yourself to believe that it is right. You will feel a difficult-to-explain sense of alignment, as though many scattered pieces have finally found their proper place. Questions that followed you for a long time will gradually receive answers, and you will understand why certain former plans could never move forward. What once made you sorrowful because of delay will reveal itself as protection. What appeared to be emptiness will become the necessary space through which something new could enter. I will not lead you through confusion, nor will I require you to lose your peace in order to hold on to something called a blessing. What I am connecting will carry increasing clarity as you continue moving forward in wisdom. Therefore, live these present days with open eyes and a quiet heart. You do not need to look at every person as though they are the answer, but do not become so closed that no one can come near. Let kindness walk beside boundaries, hope beside discernment, and readiness beside patience. You do not need to know the exact day, place, or manner in which this encounter will occur. What you need to know is that I did not lead you through every season of preparation only to leave you standing outside the door. Trust that what is fitting is being guided toward you, that the right moment is drawing near, and that you are becoming someone capable of receiving it with maturity, peace, and gratitude. When that moment comes, you will understand that silence was never empty space. It was the sacred room in which I was quietly arranging everything for you.